You go first.
Howdy, partner.
Dang damn it, Victor. I can't believe you didn't beat the game. I was hooping and hollering. We're about to have a barn-raising good time. You got hootenannies, you got hoedowns, and you got barn raisins.
Sure, racier than a hootenanny.
I rode in the gang. They left me to die after I'd been shot.
Red Dead Redemption.
Parental discretion is advised.
This is
TheHardCast.
It's time for another Vengefully Outlaw episode of TheHardCast. I'm your host, Chris, and today I'm joined by Victor.
I am not your friend, partner.
Tonight's review/discussion is about Rockstar's latest multi-platform, open-world, action-adventure title, Red Dead Redemption, a sequel to Red Dead Revolver. The year is 1911, and the era of the cowboy is coming to an end.
The era of the cowboy or the era?
Of both. Former outlaw John Marston is forced by federal agents to track down and kill his one-time compatriots. Traveling across the American and Mexican frontier, Marston must endure epic shootouts, thrilling train robberies, bounty hunting, and violent duels, all in an attempt to bury his blood-stained past, one man at a time. So Victor, did Red Dead Redemption give you a history lesson about the gritty lawlessness that was once the American West? Or did it make you feel like you were hog-tied in your skivvies and left on a railroad track for a measly 5 achievement points?
Yeah, that's one popular achievement, I guess. Some parts of the game definitely made me feel like I was hog-tied because, I don't know, it's a lot to talk about. But I guess we can start talking about the story.
Yeah, we'll get into the story and the characters.
Yeah, it starts off with Marston, I guess, riding in a train.
Some people really liked the beginning. I thought it was boring as hell, personally. Some people compared it to the opening of Half-Life, or Half-Life 2 even, where it's just all about atmosphere and you kind of get a feeling or a vibe for this place that you're going to be inhabiting soon, you know, this game world or whatever you want to say, the environment. It's kind of interesting. I think they're trying to show a lot of different things. The different nationalities coming to America for a new start. They show a car being loaded on the train, I think. So that's the whole technology thing and getting away from the horses. And just hearing all the different people on the train talking about different situations and, you know, different personalities and the whole thing with God and church and religion. And
yeah, the two guys in front of you talking about church and then the two old ladies behind you talking about...
I think they were talking about like crime and lawlessness and just all that kind of stuff and how they're bringing civilization to these people and kind of you just sitting there listening. But the whole time I just got this feeling, these people suck, you know? It's like these people are annoying. It was fairly well done, I guess, cinematic and all that, although I do think it went on a little too long.
Yeah, it was nice, but yeah, you're right, it was a bit boring.
What happens right after that? Does it cut to you being at Fort Mercer?
Does someone drop you off at the fort? Yeah, you ride with somebody.
Yeah,
you ride with someone to the fort.
Yeah, and then you talk with Bill, right? Bill Williamson, who is the first person that you're supposed to catch, one of your former compatriots, because I remember you love that word. Again, it's kind of weird. It's kind of there's this weird anticlimactic thing. You just kind of go over there and you talk to the guy, and then you get shot.
Right, and he doesn't do anything to defend himself. He just stands there and gets shot.
I know. I don't know. If I was trying to set up the game, I would try to make the player feel like this John Marston guy is a real badass. But instead, they have you ride on a train with old ladies and people talking about religion, and then they have you shot after you saying some crap about come out Bill Williamson, blah, 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 I want to talk to you, and then you just get shot. Really? I got to play this guy? He's kind of a pussy.
Right from the very beginning, or like right up until the very end, he's like, just gets kicked around left and right everywhere.
Yeah, and I kind of felt bad for him in that way because he was just a victim of circumstance. He was good in the sense that he could deal with the situations, but he had to deal with so much shit. And it was just shit upon shit. I just felt bad for the guy. And
he's always so polite, too.
Yeah, he was.
Unless someone pissed him off or whatever.
But even then, like, even when he would threaten people, it was always kind of like, you kind of knew that he didn't mean it.
Yeah, I guess he was still being polite. You know, walk away now or you'll regret it.
Yeah, even when, like, people would jerk him around and backstab him and betray him or lie to him, he would always say shit like, well, we better not do that again, or maybe I'll kill you, or some shit like that. But it never really got to the point where he was like, okay, I'm gonna really teach you a lesson. He would just be like, if you do it again, I'm gonna be really mad, or some shit like that. I mean, obviously, he's supposed to have a checkered past. He's supposed to be a former outlaw, so he's not Mr. Goody Two Shoes. But at the same time, I guess they didn't want him to be too bad of a guy. Then you might not like playing him.
Right. He stole money, but like he didn't really approve of murdering women and kids, shit like that.
Yeah, the whole thing where like outlaws have a code, honor, and this and that. Even though there's really no honor among thieves.
Well, it's like Cooper does. Anyways, after John gets shot, Bonnie McFarlane?
Yeah, Bonnie McFarlane, yeah.
Yeah, she finds him. I don't know what the hell she was doing around that area, but she finds him and brings him back to her ranch.
Yeah, it's funny because the ranch is pretty far away from Fort Mercer.
Really far.
She saves your life. You hang out with her for a bit.
She gave you a shack to live in.
And you can a horse to ride around in. And this is mostly the tutorial of the game, where you learn how to do everything, ride a horse, do basic stuff, use your gun for basic stuff, like shoot some coyotes and things like that.
Rabbits.
Yeah, rabbits. The thing about the game, though, is there's so much dialogue. There's so much talking. And, sometimes it's cool, because sometimes people have cool shit to say, but more often than not, it's just kind of like, really?
Yeah, I mean, if you've played Grand Theft Auto, you know what you're going to get into, because when you first start the mission, you talk with a character you're doing it with, and then when you ride to the place where the mission's going to happen, you're talking all the way over there.
Although sometimes you can skip it.
Yeah.
You're on a carriage and you're just riding shotgun.
Very few times.
Very few times you can skip it.
But most of the time you're just like riding around on your horse.
I mean, how'd you feel about Bonnie? I felt differently by the end of the game than I did in the beginning, because in the beginning I found her very annoying. But then when you compare her to all the other characters in the game, she wasn't that bad.
I didn't really find her annoying. I mean, she was alright.
She was okay. She had a weird way of talking to him, and sometimes I didn't really like the voice actor they chose for her. Later on in the game, I wouldn't even say to the end, but I'm saying like towards the end of the arc that you have to help her, then she opens up a bit and you learn more about her, and you can definitely tell she has feelings for you. That made it a little bit cooler. Other than that, you meet her dad. He's a decent character. The funny thing is, like, a lot of the best characters in the game, the coolest characters, are the ones you talk to the least and the ones you do the least amount of missions with.
Yeah.
It's always the loudmouth, braggart, asshole, whatever types that you spend a great deal of time with.
The jackasses.
Yes. The burrows of the game. The whole point of the story is that your family has been taken kind of hostage in a way. The federal agents are forcing you to track down all your former outlaw buddies and bring them.
Basically, every mission you do is towards trying to get people on your side to help you find this Bill Willinson guy, or trying to get information or something like that.
Yeah, and then later on in the game, you have to find Escuela is one of the guys, and then Javier Escuela. Then you also have to get the leader, which is Dutch Vanderlyn, but you don't get to him till near the end of the game. It takes forever before you actually get somebody in the game. But you build up a lot of allies, a lot of friends along the way, and of course you get caught up in the world that is Red Dead Redemption with all like the side stuff. Did you get into that whole cannibal thing?
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. A lot of people seem to like that.
There's some cool side missions that you can do.
Yeah, that's true. There are a couple of cool ones. I guess we should mention some of the characters, like as far as like what were your favorite characters and what characters did you not like that? Because we have to mention that I finished the game and you did not.
Yeah, I did not finish the game. I did a few missions when you first go to Mexico, but that's about it. This game is fucking extremely long.
Yeah, you're like maybe you're like 60%, I'd say, roughly. Maybe 65% of the way through. As far as what you experienced, like what characters really stood out for you?
Well, I mean, one of the last characters I met was Landon Ricketts, which is like an old-timer, this old guy that used to be like a big outlaw over in the States, but then, I guess he kind of retired and he's just living in Mexico now.
Landon Ricketts. Not a name that means much anymore.
He was one of my favorite characters, too. He was a cool character. The Marshal was cool, although, again...
It was decent.
He didn't really have that much to do, but I just really liked the voice actor they chose. Just his performance was nice.
I mean, all the characters, I guess, were well done, but I don't know, I found most of them kind of annoying. That Wes Dickens guy was really annoying.
I know a cure for all ailments, Mr. Marston.
Super annoying. I thought the writing was good. The words he was saying were well written.
Yeah.
And they were true to his character, but his character was such like a vagrant rapscallion, basically a charlatan.
You know, it's funny. I kind of liked Irish too, but at the same time, I hated him. Every time I was with him, I just hated him.
I was just coming to see you when the drink got the better of me.
I thought Seth and Irish were very memorable. I thought they were very kind of well fleshed out, colorful characters.
Yeah.
I felt like they were very